Good day, family. God bless you. It's the time you've been waiting for. That's right. Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, everyone who is working with open enrollment has boots on the ground or they are on roller skates. But joining us today is our Medicare expert from the Insurance Exchange, the place for all your insurance needs. Her name is Tetra Magee, and she's going to come back and bring it to you. Get your questions, dive in, and we're going to put the number scrolling. And for those who are tuning in, we'll tell you verbally, and there's who are listening, because this will be on multiple platforms after this broadcast. So you can hear wherever on iHeart, Spotify, Instagram, my webpage, Senior Talk Media, and many other places. And if you need an expert to come to your community to educate you on the proper choices and the right terms that you need to learn, we're going to bring it to you. But everyone stay tuned. Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard is right back with our special guest, our Medicare expert, Tetra Magee. Everyone stay tuned. All right, family. As mentioned, this is the season for open enrollment, and we know those critical dates between is it October the 15th and
Yes.
December 7th. People are on the ground, bumping elbows anywhere you need to be. They in Seen them at bus stops, seen them at the grocery store, library, you name it, church lobby. They are everywhere. But this is a critical time, especially during this current administration. We wanted to take our time and not be intimidated, but talk to an expert who's been in the business for many years on the knowledge that we need. One of the things that is how do you say it? A challenge in our community is that we personally do not ask the proper questions because we are what? We're intimidated. We're afraid. But you are entitled to this. So let's not play around with it. So welcome to Senior Talk, Tetra Magee. How are you this beautiful day?
I am doing great, Clara. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. So
Great.
we were in the Senior Talk, well, at the I said Senior Talk office at the Insurance Exchange office right there in South Holland, where they serve. I think they in over 8+ states that I know of, probably in
Yes.
13 or better. So they can service you anywhere. And just to get us started, if you have a question or comment for this broadcast, you can do us a favor, and that is go to insxchng.com or call 708-597-8731 and extension 120. You can have Medicare Talk with Tetra Magee, your personal self. So let's talk about this open enrollment business.
Yes.
Um, You've been in it for a while. We, talked in our virtual green room. Where
Mhm.
would you like to start? Because I'm just going to be on the end of a listener or a
Okay.
potential client of the insurance exchange on the Medicare services. So, how would you like to start this process? But first of all, this is what I do. Tell us
Mhm.
about yourself, how long you've been with the organization, and then you dive
Mhm.
into your own show. I'm the guest on this end.
I love it. I love it. So, as I mentioned to you earlier, I've been with the Insurance Exchange ever since I was a young teenager. And I've ventured through the various industries of insurance, starting off with PNC. I'm not going to really tell my age at this point, but advanced over to just not just PNC, but also life and health. And then back in 2014, I took a deep dive into Medicare, but didn't really take it seriously because it is confusing. As
Mm-hmm.
you all know, it's very confusing. What made me take a more serious approach to Medicare was in 2022, around 22, 23. I started having clients asking me questions because they knew I was, had the credentials to talk about it. So I'm like, because my whole ideology was if I could understand the basics, when it's time for me and my husband to enter to that Medicare arena, I'll have
Mm-hmm.
at least a platform to, understand the material. So in 23, I took a deeper dive to understand not just the foundation of it, but how it works, the options that are available. And like you said in your opening, you do not want to become intimidated with Medicare because when you don't know, it can be very intimidating,
Mm-hmm.
very confusing, and you shy away and just accept what an agent had offered you. and
Right.
that plan may not fit your needs. So that has been my goal. Since 24, 25, I've been going around giving educational seminars in various villages and community centers. You can say from the south side to the east side of Chicago, all the way down to Kankakee. So I do travel, and I have a joy in educating my friends and getting to know the coverages that they have, how it works, if they may need to change their plan. Because as you stated, we are underneath the new administration. Since 1965, since Medicare started, it has passed down through various administrations. So each administration has put their touch on it, and
Mm-hmm.
made various changes. And every year there are changes. And of course, yes, for 2026, there are some changes.
Yeah.
Um, so just to let people know, there are options for them. I'm not going to go into the options just yet, but one thing I want to stress throughout this broadcast, and I'm going to mention it more than once. By now, everyone should have received their annual notice of change. It may come in as a capital ANOC. It may be referred to as an ANOC. Many individuals, they just toss it to the side as if it was advertisement or just marketing material. Please do not do that. Please open up those packets, those little brochures, because that's where it informs you of the changes of the plan that you currently have.
Mm.
It'll also inform you if there's going to be an increase, or if there's going to be a new deductible or a differential in the premium, or if your doctors, even in the network. It is nothing like going to the doctor after January 1st of the following year and find out you cannot see that doctor because he does not take that plan anymore.
Wow.
Educate yourself during AEP. That's the purpose of AEP. You have the opportunity to explore various plans, check to your medications, making sure that they're on the carrier's formulary. That is so
Mhm.
important. Formularies do change every year. Again, you don't want to drive up to CVS or Walgreens and they're telling you, okay, your cost is now $3,400 something dollars.
Ooh. Let's take a pin note right there.
Yes.
It is critical
Hmm.
when you mention the pharmacies because we've had so many who have closed. And
Yes.
we've had relationship with our pharmacies for many years. So it is critical that you, i.e., build that rapport again, maybe with the
Mhm.
next local, but also some people have moved around, so get your address updated.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
that's just
please.
that's a footnote. Those are things I think of too. Beyond that, because I know when some major facilities were closed,
Mhm.
seniors called me directly, and
Mm.
I couldn't. I was helpful. I was helpless because I could only tell them to go to their next pharmacy, or i.e., sometime try to find a way to retain their history if
Right.
that was possible. But that's another story. But I appreciate you saying that. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm glad you made that point because even though you may advise or they may go to the next pharmacy, which could be a block or a half a block away,
Mm-hmm.
that pharmacy may not be in that plan's network. So now you're paying higher out-of-pocket costs. Yes.
That okay.
So
Gotcha.
during AEP, if you have a broker agent, sit down, have them review your plan. If you have questions on anything, have them explain it to you. They can let you know what the cost will be for you for the following year
Mm-hmm.
by looking at your ANOC, or let's say, okay, um, and if you have a long list of medications, that agent should sit down with you and go through each medication to make sure it's still covered. If
Wow.
not, you may have to look at a different plan for the following year. Again,
Mm.
AEP is a very serious and critical time for individuals who are on a Medicare Advantage plan, even on original Medicare, because your health changes, your medication changes. So
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be reviewed. Another important thing, not just with the pharmacy and your primary care physicians, making sure they're in network, but also your specialists. Because if that plan doesn't cover it again, you're going to be responsible for that out of network cost. And the
Mm.
whole goal for having health insurance or coverage is having less out of pocket costs.
Right.
So
Right.
that's where the research comes into play. Again, I hope everyone has a broker agent to have that personal relationship with.
But if you don't. So if you
You
want
better
some
give me a
urgent
call.
answers, give us a call. 708-597
Yes.
731 extension 120. All right, go ahead.
No, 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 you're fine, you're fine.
Yeah.
Even because I'm starting to find individuals who have been on, like, just original Medicare or have a Medicare Advantage plan, but they don't understand the various parts of it. So you have your go
Yes.
ahead.
No, no, that's a great statement. No, what you were saying, and I say this too. I
Mhm,
do a program called Live and Learn series where it's a pop-up resource fair in senior buildings. And
mhm,
I could tell you there was an example where I asked the lady, where was her red, white, and blue card?
mhm.
Girl, it's upstairs. I said, well, why don't you bring it down? You can get you two pair of shoes. You're entitled to two pair. She said, huh?
Mm,
Two pair of shoes. We
mhm.
had the gentleman on site. He had the style of the shoes. They were good looking. She said, I can't believe these shoes look this good. And I said, get two pair, one for church and one for bingo. But she was in awe that
Wow.
she was entitled to that. So
Yes.
we need to also, once you are a holder of the card,
Mhm.
the benefits that you're entitled to.
And there's a lot of benefits,
Benefits,
a
yeah.
lot of benefits. Um, and that's another reason why during AEP you sit down with your broker agent, go line by line. I do it. I did one yesterday. It takes a little time. It's a little tedious, but
Mm-hmm,
the purpose for me to sit down with an individual is to make sure that when you leave this office, you understand what you're covered for, how it works, and
mm-hmm.
what you're entitled to, because
Right.
there's a lot of extra benefits. And I tell individuals in my educational classes, do not get swooned into the various commercials where, oh, you can get $300 over the counter. We'll give you a flex card for this. You can pay your bills. No,
Mm,
because they don't tell you the other important things that is attached to the various flex cards and various benefits. And this is just an example. Um, and again, this is just reference to advertisements. They don't tell you all the details.
mm-hmm,
But when you sit down with an agent broker, they will inform you. Yes, you may get maybe and this is just an example, you may get a $500 a month allowance on this little flex card, which you
mm-hmm,
could use for out of pocket medical expenses like copays or uh, medications, copays, things of that nature. But also on the program or on the plan, it may say you can use for healthy foods.
mm-hmm.
Healthy foods mean things that will help you stay healthy, your fruits, your vegetables,
Right.
certain types of meats. Not your Twinkies, not your Ben and Jerry's or, your B and J and B, liquor. None of that. No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Healthy things. But they also may have a clause that says um, you can also use for utilities, rent, or mortgage. Now, here's the caution. If an individual is on a state program, such as maybe Medicaid, if you use that card, you can use it for everything else, but if you use it for utilities, rent, or mortgage, you will get a 1099 at the end of the year. The state will see that as income, and that can affect your qualifications for Medicaid.
Ooh, that's a big
I'm
one.
just,
Tell it
that
again.
is huge.
Ooh, that's a big one.
It is. The
Wow.
monthly allowance that you receive, depending on what carrier you have, if
Mm-hmm.
they allow you to use that allowance for rent, mortgage, or utilities, please expect a 1099 at the end of the year. That is considered income because you're paying your bills, to survive. And that can affect your eligibility to be a Medicaid recipient. hmm
Wow.
That's major. Yeah.
That's major. Because and very well, I've been in presentations and I've heard testimonies. Oh, I got my car. I went and bought White
hmm
Castles and bought me some copy paper. I said, wow. But I mean,
Yes.
oh wow. Ooh, phew.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
well, let's do this. Let's take a break. We're going to hear
Okay.
from our friends from the insurance exchange and why they are the place for all your insurance needs. I'm stunned at what you just told me.
I'm sorry,
No, no, we're good.
but it's the truth.
It's the truth. And we'll be right back after this commercial message from the insurance exchange.
Buying insurance should be easy. Home, auto, life, health, even business insurance. You can get it all and more at the Insurance Exchange. We work with top-rated insurance companies to get you the best rate and coverage. Come join our family. We're local, family-owned, and as active members in the community with over 40 years in the business, we understand the needs of our customers. Visit us online at insxchg.com. We'll get you covered.
All right, that Kelly, she's something else, ain't she?
She is
We love
very. I
Kelly.
love it.
And
Yes.
you can also, for those who are tuning in and listening and viewing, you can go on to Senior Talk Media. Um, Kelly and Carolyn were on previous talking about protecting the gift of life, the gift of love policy. So it was awesome. And then previous, we had the president himself, Thomas Crosby Sr., talking about the power of life insurance. And so you're here today. So we're going to keep rolling with the insurance
All
exchange. We
right.
love you. We love you. We love you. So
Sounds great.
we ended with this flex card information. So let's
Hmm.
say I am turning 65 during this time period.
Hmm.
Where would you lead me? Where would be the steps? Because some people just say, "Well, my cousin is on." Well, you can't do what your cousin did.
Oh, I
You
see
know,
that's my pet peeve
go ahead, break it down.
when it
Go
comes
break
to
it down for
Medicare.
us.
Okay. So even though there are various plans, there's various carriers for the state of Illinois and other states. Do not base your choice or decision on your friend or your neighbor. You all are two different individuals. You have different needs. You have
Mm-hmm.
different budgets. You have different health, uh, probably conditions. All that plays a factor. When a person is aging into Medicare, and just want to put this little snippet in there, they do have an initial enrollment period. They can enroll 3 months prior to their month of birth,
Mm-hmm.
the month of their birth, and then 3 months after. So they have a 7 month enrollment period.
Okay.
And I really appreciate that because you're about to choose something that's going to affect you for the following year because it's different from employer coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Because with employer coverage, they give you three plans. You choose the one you want, PPO, HMO, and that's it.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. But since we're at this phase in our life, Medicare, a lot of other factors are going to come into play. What are your needs? Do you have a specific doctor that you need to see?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a specialist that you will not change for the world because you feel that he's the best for you?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You see?
Right.
So, and then other things that come into play is the cost. There's cost to the policy itself, the premium. There's deductibles, maximum out of pocket cost, which is the co-insurance, and also those co-pays. Each carrier is different when it comes to those figures. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's so important to do your research. Me personally, when someone is new to Medicare, and I'm finding out a lot of people who have been in Medicare for several years, do not be afraid to use the tools that are provided for you.
Okay.
Number one tool, the Medicare.gov. If you go to that website, if you have your Part A and Part B, that makes you eligible for Medicare. If you have your red, white, and blue card, or if you just have your Part A, uh, or versus Part A and B, sorry about that. Go into Medicare.gov, set up your account. What that does, as soon as you set up a password and username, they already know that you're there. Your information is already there. It'll
Mm-hmm.
let you know when you started Medicare, what plan you currently have. Not only that, but you can build out your account, whereas you can put in your doctors, your medication, your pharmacy. The reason for why I recommend Medicare.gov is because every year during AEP, let's say you can't get to an agent or there's some issues with your agent, you
Mm-hmm.
can do the same research that we do with that link. You may not understand everything. That's why it's good to have an agent to help
Right.
you with that. But just go in there, fill out your account, and build it. Whatever changes throughout the year that you need, put those changes in there. It can give you a calculation of how much your out of pocket costs will be, depending on the plan that you have. I really appreciate that tool that's available. Um, Also, another thing is if you get a recommendation from a neighbor or a friend, get a recommendation of an agent, one that they really truly trust with their personal information.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's a good recommendation. But if it's a plan, do not just follow, the crowd per
Yeah.
se.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's so many choices.
Oh, there's so many
And so
choices.
that's why it's important to go to a multi-level agent like yourself who has
Right.
knowledge on the breakdown of the different brands or providers of this service.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna tell
Exactly.
you this on this end. I
Mhm.
personally was intimidated, but I'm learning now about part A, B, C, and all those letters. I'm like, what? is going on? That's what they call the Medicare maze sometimes. All these letters going up. What's the deal? But I think what we could do in the future when we come back again, because we definitely got to come back in November, is maybe take the letters and
Okay.
break those down to give people more information, to make it more time
Educational.
savvy and
Yes.
educational for them, because I'm hurt. I
Okay.
couldn't tell you A through D. I just couldn't. But I think with your
Right.
expertise and your delivery, it'll be a great asset to our program to have that breakdown. So each person who is watching and tuning in will be more comfortable. But as I said, for those who are tuning and listening, we're not done, but I invite you to go to the insurance exchange, INSXCHNCHG.com, 708-597-8731, and extension 120, and say, let me talk to Tetra. This is I heard on So You Talk. No, I'm just joking. But this is
Please.
critical. I think
Yes.
I know you would be a great asset to breaking it
Oh,
down, because that's where we get stuck
yes.
and we're
Yes.
not informed. And I'm glad you mentioned and we had that conversation. I mean, just because your friend do that, you may have other needs than that loved one or that person that you were recommended by. So
Right.
talk to a multi-level agent that knows quite a few of the carriers. Hello, there's
Yes.
several. There are
Yes.
several.
There are
And so
several.
we're going to stick with the insurance exchange to give us the breakdown. But I just wanted to make that note to our viewing and listening audience. You are entitled to this. That's the first thing. So don't
Mhm.
wait too long. But you
Exactly.
have a trusted service. The insurance exchange has been in business for over 50 plus years. Black owned in multiple states. I know I'll bring the states up next time, but he was Dr. Crosby was Mr. Crosby was on our show. They just about in every state, but they can service you anywhere in the country, in the global USA. So don't wait. Let's work in this dynamic. But go ahead, Tetra. I'm sorry. I just wanted to bring. Well, I'm not sorry.
No,
I'm adding to your presentation, but it was
I
critical that
appreciate
we
it.
understand that. We understand that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And maybe in the next segment, we could talk about the difference between just having just your red, white, and blue original Medicare and an Advantage plan, because
Exactly.
you have options.
Yes.
Um, because you may have someone who loves to travel around the world.
Many of
Maybe an
them.
Advantage plan may not be, for you. Maybe just having the original Medicare with a supplement or a Medigap plan. That's where all those letters come in, G, K, L, N,
Mm-hmm.
and find
Right.
out the differences between the two.
All
So,
that.
yes. And like you said, you are entitled to so much at the space of life. The thing is to educate yourself to find out what's in here. What do I have available for
Mm-hmm.
myself? You see. Um, Another thing I just want to bring out in regards to resources was the fact that Medicare.gov, beautiful tool. The Social Security Administration, they as well. You can sit down and talk with someone there
Mm-hmm.
because you know that they are a government official, or the local state Medicaid office if someone is on Medicaid. They can also help to see what plans that they have available too, but it's nothing like having your own personal broker agent who will sit down and walk you through what needs to be done. Maybe you haven't received your red, white, and blue card. What do I do?
Right.
We will advise you. What if I don't know which plan, if I should do option one, option two, then that's where we'll sit down. We'll lay everything on the table and we'll walk you through. And based upon your responses, we can guide you or show you the benefits of each one and go from there.
I love it. And they're
Yes.
conveniently located in South Holland, but as I mentioned, they are open. Tetra got her skates, she got a tank of gas, and she is ready to
I'm
roll.
ready.
So she can come to your church presentation, your red hat, pink hat meeting, veterans post. We are serious about this thing. This is real
Yes.
business, and you are entitled to it. And we have to be more diligent to be in response of getting this, receiving our benefits, because unfortunately, sometimes we're at risk of them not being there.
Right.
It's a
Or
real
losing out.
thing. If you've been
Yes.
watching TV, that's why I said we're not going to use these TV ads. We're going to talk to someone live who can help us. Hello, Jesus.
Yes.
That's just me. So, Tetra, we got a few more minutes. What would you like to say? Let me ask you this question.
Hmm.
What are the documents that we need to have
Mm.
on our initial, sitting down with you or on the
Hmm.
phone or getting ready to come to your office or you
Hmm.
do a presentation? What would you advise those participants or persons to have the documents in hand?
Okay. Number one, your red, white, and blue card. That just shows that you are eligible for Medicare
Mm-hmm.
and whatever plans that are available. The second thing, a list of your primary care physician's information, your specialist information, and if they have an MD or a PD, whatever they have behind their name, bring that information from the
Right, right.
dentist down to the podiatrist, you
Mm-hmm.
know, specialist information, a list of your medications, not just the name, but the dosage and the frequency of it, because that all plays a part in cost, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And along with the medications, your preferred pharmacy, because we may have to choose a different pharmacy, but if they're on the list of being in network, that'll be perfect. And then last but not least is your preferred hospital to make sure that they are in network.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
And that is something that you have to really be mindful of. I'm working to get a few of the state reps to give us our medical. There's used to be able to get a medical record card, like a little brochure to put
Hmm.
down your information, because a lot of people are not on the internet.
They're not.
So that's why you need to call 708-597-8731, extension 120, and
Yes.
ask for Tetra, because a lot of us are not on the internet. They may feel intimidated by that. It's a big device. It's a lot
It
of things
is.
happening. So that's why you can talk to a live person and get
Yes.
your questions answered, and she will navigate this very critical Medicare maze, because it is a maze. It is a maze.
It's a maze.
So, what will be your closing statement for our broadcast? I can't wait till you come back. You are awesome, and I just think it's going to be a benefit.
It
It's going to
is.
be a
It
benefit.
truly
But
is.
what's your closing statement for this first of our Medicare Minute series?
Hey. My closing statement would be do not be intimidated, number one. Number three, be proactive for the new year. Um, and when during this time period, whatever your carrier, no matter if it's the big blue, the big purple, or green, whoever, if they sending you material right now, do not toss it away. Keep that material in hand. And then if you have questions about it, bring it to the appointment.
Mm-hmm.
But all the other carriers, if you're going to get inundated right now. Do not be afraid. Oh, one quick tip. One quick tip. If you're getting a lot of spam calls about Medicare, real quick tip: ask them for their license number. They won't. You
Ooh,
won't get a call back from that particular individual. Yeah.
ooh, you got something on
Yes.
that written?
I'll pull it up and give it to you. Yes.
Yeah, please
Yes.
do so.
Because
And
by
and
law, they are supposed to give you their license number. But if they're not, they're going to hang up and they won't call back. Hmm.
and I'm just going to put another footnote. I also, and I'll put it out again, there is also a scam going on regarding one ring phone calls. I pull that up and I'll repost that along with your information. We'll get that updated to
Okay.
our community, because I remember getting a call and just did one time. But if I put
Hmm.
my voice to it,
Yes. It'll
and that was
activate.
given to about our state's attorney general or the Federal Trade Commission, one of the two. But the one ring calls is out. And scamming is everywhere. That's why
It's
also
everywhere.
we got a few moments. That's why you need to call a licensed insurance agent,
Yes.
multi-level. So many people are assuming, and they're out here. You hear about Medicare fraud
Hmm.
every day of the year.
Hmm.
Talk to an
Hmm.
expert. This is our trusted source here at Senior Talk. Her name is Tetra Magee. 708-597-8731, extension 120. Please, please, please do yourself a favor. We will do presentations. We will come to your red hat meeting, your step set, you name it, wherever you are gathered. Or you just want your group to get together, or your block club, just use this number and start here. It's critical. I am asking for our listeners and viewers, use our resource. You will not regret it. All right, I'm done, Petra. You the
All
best. You
right.
the best at it, girl. So everyone, you've been tuning in to Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard. I want to thank you. You've been tuning in to Medicare Minutes with Tetra Magee here on behalf of the Insurance Exchange, the place for all of your insurance needs. If you have any further questions for our broadcast, don't forget the number is 312-725-4377. And you can call the Insurance Exchange at 708-597-8731. Thank you all for making us a part of your day, and we will see you next time for Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard. Everyone, take care.
Great.